plenary, because the plenary sessions are usually about more general presentations. But in this workshop, we wanted to go deeper and pose some questions, discuss successful practices, share some ideas. So I see that some of the speakers are already here. So we should start, and the others will join. And we have some experiences from the morning session that it's not easy for everyone to join in this team platform, but we will see. So, as I mentioned, this workshop is dedicated to introduce some successful climate actions from the partner countries, and to go a bit deeper in examining elements of green university programs, exchange some ideas, and maybe trace some future cooperations. Therefore, after each presentation, we would like to give the floor to the attendees to ask some questions and share your remarks. So create an open discussion. And I don't really see now how many presentations can be listened, because we have 9, but not all of us are here. We'll see. But I think that time interval will be enough for discussion. And I also have to tell you that unfortunately yesterday evening we were informed that Dr. Libushka Merzel won't be able to join the event due to the COVID situation, quarantine. So the third presentation has to be cancelled. But instead, we are happy to announce that the Károly Gáspár University of the Reformed Church in Hungary also contacted us that they would like to present their Green University program. So at the almost end of the meeting, I will also ask her to present the program. As I see, Mr. Zoltán Oletic is not here at the moment, but
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, now you are here.
Yes.
Great, great. So we don't have to modify the order of the workshop this way. That's great. So the title of your presentation, which will be the first today, is about virtual power plants, and it's maybe a bit misleading, as in energy sector it is used better for balance groups, which is composed of small energy generation units, enabling digital interconnection and ensuring real-time optimized operation. But your program is about something else, and we are part of this program. So I kindly ask you to describe us how do you operate it and what is it about?
Okay, thank you. So shall I start my presentation now?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. One moment, I just shared my desktop, and I think everybody can see it now.
Great, yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So first things first, thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to have this conversation with you and have our presentation. As you can see, yes, I'm representing the Virtual Power Plant program from MI6, Hungarian Innovation and Efficiency non-profit company. We are not related to the English Secret Service. This is the first things that I always have to tell everybody abroad. But we are doing a bit other things. So as Mr. Balázs told, yes, system and grid balancing is called virtual power plants in the western part of Europe, while in Hungary it's a bit other thing. It's a bit more about awareness raising and sharing best practices. Let me show you how and what will be our today's agenda. First, about the program, just a bit of clarification. Who are we, what do we do, and what's the difference between the other description Mr. Balázs gave us. On the other hand, what are our results and how those things cumulate into the sustainability education, which we are very proud of. So, without further ado, let's start. Can you hear me well, or shall I be a bit more loud?
It's perfect.
Okay, thank you very much. So, about the program. We started it in, I think, 10 years ago. Yes, 2010 and 2009. And we had one goal in mind: try to save as much energy as we can. As you can see on the left side of the picture, if we save energy, less energy production is required, which meant 10 years ago that less fossil power plants are required, which leads to less greenhouse gas, for example, carbon dioxide emission. This is well, I think a good goal, I would say. But on the other hand, we had very few supportive partners from the political segment, because energy saving is invisible, intangible, and fragmented. For example, if a small bakery does an energy efficiency project somewhere in the country, it has no ribbon cutting effect for the politicians. They don't want to go to the small countryside and cut a ribbon, for example, for saving 100 megawatt hours of energy, primary energy per year at a small bakery. However, if we can make it visible, recognizable, operate and bundle as a program, politicians suddenly show an interest for it, if it's large enough to be representable toward the Hungarian households, for example. So we came up with a plan to visualize, recognize, and operate this program. We pile up bits of savings. What does this mean? This means that, for example, if you are a multinational company or a small SME or a municipality in Hungary and have a good practice on saving energy, for example, installing photovoltaic panels on your rooftops, or you have, for example, as Audi, you have a compressed air system energy saving project where all your machining lines and manufacturing lines are run on compressed air. You can use, for example, monitoring system to reduce the leakages, thus reduce the energy need, or optimize the operation of the whole system and reach new energy efficiency goals with it. So we gather and pile up these bits of savings, make them visible. This is the visualized part. And recognize them. If this is a big breakthrough project or shows great potential, which can be implemented at other municipalities, for example, or other companies or other SMEs, or even at the household level, we give an award for that at the Houses of the Parliament twice a year, with a great media coverage and with relevant members of the academia sector and the politicians, and also from other large companies as well. As Hungarians may know it, but I think the V4 region knows as well. The Hungarian oil companies, for example, always an attendee of these award ceremonies, and so on and so on. We operate and plan a program which makes itself relevant by gathering enough good practices to make a dent, so to speak of, in the Hungarian fossil energy production. Our target was 10 years ago that we should save 200 megawatts of fossil power plant capacity. We actually reached 3 times the size of these savings, and it's 600 megawatts of capacity. A bit of clarification: power plant capacity is 20,000 times the larger amount than megawatt hours, for example. So this seems small as a number, but in itself it's a really huge number as well. How do we operate? On the left side of the picture, or on the left hand, you can see that there are companies, or it can be a municipality. We just now only drew a factory there. They have a good practice, for example, installing photovoltaic panels or building insulation or using waste heat systems to heat office buildings, and so on and so on and so on. We certify their energy savings, so we make a local energy audit based upon their numbers and their technology and gather their good practice. Later in the project, we share this knowledge, these good practices, to other companies, municipalities, other stakeholders in the Hungarian segment or in the international segment, and show them what results can be achieved with these kinds of projects. On the other hand, the donor company, or the company which provided us the good practice, gets an award and the recognition, for example, at the Parliament event, as I told you earlier. was, as I said, to gather good practices worth of 200 megawatts fossil capacity. And yes, we have 600 now. So how do we do it? We operate in 4 countries with 8 local plants. So we moved forward international expansion and are trying to gather good practices from all around Europe. As you can see, Potenza virtual power plant from Italy, Timiș is a Romanian Timișoara, or in Hungarian Temesvar region virtual power plant. But I would like to say that here is BAVPP, is the Baranya County virtual power plant program operated by the University of Pécs, and it's larger. It gathered more energy efficiency projects, for example, than Potenza, Italy. So congratulations to the Pécs Green University program as well. But as you can see, we have a United Kingdom level program and gathering knowledge from there as well to be shared among everyone in the system. As I told you earlier, we have gathered 600 megawatts of capacity, which means and puts us as the 4th largest plant in Hungary. So if this capacity has to be built any day from a fossil power plant, we would be the 4th fossil power plant in Hungary after Paks, the atom energy power plant, Matra and Dunamec power plants, which are fossil power plants. We had a significant growth in partner numbers and good practices collected thanks to our partners and international expansion. As you can see, under a year, we nearly doubled our savings and the projects in the system. What does this mean and how do we do it? I've spoken much about gathering energy efficiency projects, but this is only one side of the scale. On the other hand, companies need help to do these energy efficiency investments. For example, if I have a good practice to say from Audi and a small company, an SME, production SME, would like to use the same technology or invest in the same procedures, he has to apply for money or financial support, or even needs to get service providers. We can do it in the system as well. Our company, MI6, operates the virtual power plant program, the awareness raising part of our scheme, but there are other 2 of our companies, a for-profit who provides the financial support and application and so on, while the other hand, Singular provides the equity for example, startups which want to invest in technologies or want to research new energy efficiency technologies. Then we provide the equity for startups. So we not only do an awareness raising, but try to emphasize and motivate Hungarian SMEs and municipalities to do these energy investments to set off energy needs and reduce their energy hunger. As you can see, these 600 megawatts of power plant capacity accounts for 5% of the Hungarian GAG greenhouse gas emission as well, which means that we provided support and helped our partners at 18 billion Hungarian forints. So their project's gross worth is 18 billion Hungarian forints. Well, I think I'm going to need a bit of help here, but millions of euros as well, as we want to tell it in euros. Just a recap. How can we reach these numbers? We have 9,000 domestic partners, and we have nearly 8,000 domestic companies which we audited and gathered their data and project information and so on, with 200 international company partners accounting for 400 megawatts of best practices and actual projects done. Our other large partners are the municipalities. As you can see, we made sustainable energy and climate action plans for more than 70 municipalities, leading to actual energy savings and energy investments, renewable energy investments at these municipalities, leading to 132 megawatts, 21% share of our energy savings. But we are going to talk about schools, as we see that as an awareness raising program and as a program which collects good practices, these practices need to be shared at with other stakeholders. For example, students who, after they grow up, they will use these sustainability and these green economy practices. So we take part in and operate educational programs as well, reaching approximately 400,000 students with 500 plus events, and we also operate at a handful of pilot programs. A few words about these. The Energy Conscious Schools program and the one at the right hand I think are easy to understand. Sorry for the Hungarian label here. This is the Sustainability Thematic Week of Hungary, which is supported by the President of Hungary as well. These are the students programs we operate in. They aim at different levels of education and at doing things. For example, the Energy Conscious Schools program is like the virtual power plant program. If a school does an energy efficiency project, we welcome them, we audit their product, we see how their renewable production is and award them for it. The Sustainability Thematic Week is a week-long educational event focusing on green economy, on energy efficiency, renewables, and sustainability matters. For example, smart city development, smart traffic development, and so on and so on. And we use our knowledge gathered and best practices gathered from earlier from, for example, the companies, local companies and company partners of the program and the municipalities, and share these knowledges as actual tutelage data and actual educational data for the students. So here we are providing learning material for the Sustainability Thematic Week, and we aim to reach more than, it's not 400 schools, sorry, 4,000 schools per year, which we reach with this program in Hungary. And the other part is an action for climate protection through all age groups. This is the newest part of our operation, and we aim to follow along Hungarian students from the nursery age to until they are young adults as 18 years old, and try to formulate an educational material for them in energy efficiency and other sustainability and green economy matters to follow along their school life. We do not want to substitute school tutelage for them, but we wish to provide the knowledge and some exciting new learning material for them to be used besides their traditional schools program. As you can see, learning material is based here as well on our VPP practices, and we offer online and offline activities for them. As there was the COVID pandemic here in Hungary as well, we made online teaching sessions, we made available all of our learning material online, and so on and so on. And as I told you, we are supporting but not replacing the school activities. With these kinds of helps, pilot results means that we can testify that even at a nursery level, so 3 years old, 4 years old, and even 5 years old children can reach a state of energy consciousness, and they can care for our environment, and results are quantifiable in the nursery program as well. We can quantify their behavioral change. How do they use recycling, or do they know of recycling as for example, a young adult, and do they use these recycling bins? And do they have some lexical knowledge, which is a bit funny to for example, speak about nurseries, but we have quantified even spin-off effects on other family members. The program will continue with universities as well, and we are going to provide learning material for vocational schools, secondary schools, and universities in the future, but this was our pilot part. On the other hand, the Energy Conscious Schools program became a well-known program, and we have 50 plus schools attending to our VPP event I told you about earlier per year, and I think more than Well, this is 1,800 students are written here. They are more than 2,000 as I recount them. They are involved in local actions, and more than 100 schools downloaded the online learning material, for example, in the last few months. So this is we as a virtual power plant are not the classical grid balancing situation. We try to gather best practices from where they are created, from companies, from municipalities, where we can quantify that this practice, for example, a behavioral change at a local municipality can actually help sustainability, can help green economy, or even a circular economy approach can be used at a local municipality level, for example, for waste management. And then we help to apply these best practices at other municipalities with helping financials or service providers and so on. We are trying to build a network to do these all of these projects together. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much. I think Professor Solovi is raising hand.
Yes.
You want
a question? Thank you very much for really interesting presentation. I just have two small questions. One, we heard such words as sustainability, green economics, climate aspect. So which attention is paid to really renewable energy and transition to so-called energy transition from renewable to non-renewable? Because I heard about 8 plants and I didn't realize what they use. Do they use some of them biomass and other issues? So what is the share of your activities actually to transition to renewable energy?
Yes, I can speak about our stakeholders and municipalities part of the program. As Hungary for now have open calls for financial support for municipalities transitioning in renewables and renewable projects. In the last few years, I think 45 to 50% of our municipalities are trying at least as pilot projects to transition into renewables and mainly photovoltaics. But to, for example, to make a live example, the Great Hungarian Plains has a municipality called Murahalom, which is, I think, a really good example where they not only try to just build photovoltaics, they are using thermal wells, they are using many types of renewables, and they try to disseminate their results to other municipalities to be used. But the exact answer is for the municipalities is 45% have these kinds of projects. However, the share of renewables is a bit low now. 15 to 20%, for example, in the project. In the program.
Really interesting. What is internationally is interesting that there are movement of city which called zero non-renewables, which are trying to get completely to zero. In Ukraine, we don't have too many examples of it, but our students had a field trip to near Lviv, one of city which tried to switch completely to biomass energy, not using. In my life, I saw such also things, such villages near Göttingen in Germany or something. It's not, of course, yet successful very much. But for me, it's really interesting that there is even such attention to be completely renewable, not very realistic for all.
Well, Sweden has these kinds of projects. We have a Swedish partner which has these kinds of projects, and even they are not 100% renewable, but I think 80%. A small municipality with 3,000 inhabitants, for example. In Hungary, it is. While to be honest, this is not a reality now. For example, maybe in the future.
Good to know. Thank you very much. Good to learn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation and also for the question. We have a lot of presentations to come Now almost all the speakers are here with us, so we have to keep this time frame of approximately 10 minutes per presentation, even if they are really interesting. So we want to continue it as a conversation, but probably we will have time for one question only after the presentation itself, and then we will have time at the end. Then we can continue asking from all the speakers. So the forthcoming presentations will be all about universities. They will give brief overviews on green pursuits of these universities. And first, we move to Ukraine, and I'd like to invite Dr. Uliana Pavliuk to tell us what's behind their 111th position on the green metric ranking. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Is everything okay with my sound, or should I speak louder?
It's okay.
Okay, well, now I'm sharing my presentation. A moment. Just a second. Is everything okay? Do you see my presentation?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Well, dear colleagues, in 2018, Ukrainian National Forestry University entered Green Metrics ranking for the first time. And for 2 years in a row, we have the honor of leading among the most sustainable universities in Ukraine. You might be wondering, is there some secret behind such success? And maybe it's just a beginner's luck, or everything is so much complicated. Well, my name is Uliana Pavliuk. I am a PhD senior lecturer in Institute of Ecological Economics and Management, and also I am a member of e-learning team of Ukrainian National Forestry University in Lviv, Ukraine. And today, on behalf of our sustainability team, I'd like to tell you more about our success, and thus to answer the question, where to start when your university strive for top in such ranking as Green Metrics. Well, we entered this ranking, as I said, 2 years ago, and of course the result exceeded all our expectations. In that moment, Green Metrics started focusing on sustainable development goals, and we decided to try our luck in this ranking. It was a great opportunity because a feature of research and development of our university is environmental focus. So for 2 decades, our students and teachers staff have been involved in so many sustainability projects, including internships. That's why by 2018, we already had a great heritage of theory and practices in it. That's why almost 31% of total number of our courses had ecological component. Of course, I was just kidding about beginner's luck, and you may already have guessed it. Of course, it was the first chance and opportunity to compare our university with other sustainable universities all over the world with such wide list of criteria. And we started with the position 197th in 2018, and next year, in 2019, we have moved up the ranking by position 111th. But the most excited we were about the result of first position in Ukraine. I would like to draw your attention to the following points of this year. So we have the 6th world ranking in sustainable education, and of course our university top positions in settings and infrastructure, transportation and water. In the next part of my presentation, I'll tell you more about it. Now, let me tell you about our university more. As you may see on
the presentation is the slides are not moving, so maybe if you want to shift to the next one.
Do you see it now?
We see the title.
Still a title, yeah.
One more time.
Because we see that there are some interesting pictures, that's why I'm telling.
Okay. I'll try one more time. One moment, please. I would like to show you this special pictures. Well, let's try it. One moment. Do you see it now?
Yes, I think that this is good.
Yes, this is our university. Well, you may see on the slide that our campus is located exactly in the middle of botanical garden. Students have an opportunity to enjoy nature right from the window of auditorium. And since 1874 by 2020, in our university, we already have a great heritage of scientific schools, of sustainable forestry, wood technology, and of course, ecological economics, long before the greening of education became a trend in Ukraine. Our university is a leader in forestry education in Ukraine. I'm just saying. Well, here you can see the original Green Matrix results detail about our education. As you may see, sustainability education is our priority and key success factor. Well, on the slide 5, you can see also some specific information about our education. As well, you can see that, as I said, almost 30% of our courses have sustainability components. Our scientists participated in over 75 activities related to sustainability. Students are involved in sustainable development activities and internships. And last but not least, of course, ad naturam vivere distimus is our university motto, which means we learn to live in harmony with nature. Here you can see some lists of events related to sustainability which held at our university last year. It's about 60 events, summer schools, workshops, conferences, open lectures of invited scientists, seminars, and of course our traditional ecological activities such as tree planting, restoration of parks and groves in our city and all over Ukraine. Well, the next slide shows our setting and infrastructure results. As you may see, the total area on our campus is covered in forest, and that is our privilege actually. Here you can also see some picture of our campus, how it is located in our city. And we have in our structure botanical garden, seed beds, educational and production forestry complex, and other forest areas. Here you can see actually the picturesque photos of our botanical garden in which our students like to renew after their lectures. Our campus is located in the most green district of Lviv city, near the park Sandy Lakes, and of course our students like to recreate there on that side. Actually, it's a picture of the lakes, which also take part in conservation of water in our university. It's actually rain and source water, spring water collection in our university site. Hereupon, we point out 3 strategic factors to succeed in sustainable development of universities, in our opinion, of course. First of all, it's access to natural resources, and we are lucky to have them in such a great amount. The second one is how we actually manage them for practical research, for development, and of course for implementation of sustainable ideas in our university. And the third one is long-term keeping pace with global trends of sustainable development. And also I need to say thanks to Mr. Professor Solovey for his achievement in this area. The motto on Green Metric Guideline 2019 says, "Sustainable university in a changing world, lessons, challenges, and opportunities." Yep, of course, we agree, everything's changing, even some indicators of Green Metric ranking. But of course, the most important thing is sustainable thinking. That's why our university, or as I prefer to say, sustainable state of mind of our university and our students is the main challenge. And of course, how our tutors inspire, encourage, and I would say how they empower the next generation to some action in it, and only that is what really matters in universities. For us, Green Metric leadership in Ukraine is not a goal, but it's some kind of indicator of our university's strategic result in educating successful and some conscious students who aim to sustainable development and environmental safety of our cities, of our country, and so on. And when somebody asks me, I'm a beginner, and how can I success in Green Metric ranking? I would say start with sustainable thinking and action, of course, and then everything will fall into the right places. In a couple of years, the results of your university will be so natural and organic, so you will be pleased with that. Well, thank you for your attention, and thank you very much for this opportunity to share our practice and our results with all over the world. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I would like to answer them. Thanks.
Thank you for the presentation. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. If you don't have any at the moment, I'm just asking a short question. You mentioned innovations in a circular economy program. Was it a kind of competition for the students or awarded, or can you tell a few words about it? It was among the events.
Okay, about the event, yes?
Just this program called Sustainability Innovations in a Circular Economy. And I was just curious whether this is kind of program where students are involved and they figure out some new ideas and technologies, or how can we imagine it? Just in one minute So,
and I think it's which is in a framework of Baltic University program, meaning a circular economy event, which was organized by a colleague from department. You remember from September?
Yes, of course. Our best students may take part in the Baltic University program, and of course they can exchange some ideas with other students from all over the world, from Baltic University region. That's why I think that project gives the most to our students. That is the main issue, which help to make wider. Sorry about my English. That helps our students to make sustainability actually their second thinking, their point of view. And about circular economic, the more can say Professor Solovi, because he is some of curator of that project, and maybe he can help me to tell you more.
Briefly, we'll say, if it's 1 minute, it was more traditional summer school when we had students from many universities around the world, and was organized by Hamburg University and their Center for Sustainability. It was not competition. It was more like traditional visiting practical places and lectures.
Okay.
Traditional summer school. Yeah, but it was a good event.
Thank you for the reply.
Thank you.
Also for the presentation. So our next speaker is from Hungary, from Szeged, which is the most successful Hungarian university in the Green Metric ranking. Congratulations, as always. And therefore, we are eager to hear about your secret weapons, which will help us to develop as well. So the floor is yours, Dr. Gyamati László.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here, and of course a great welcome to the colleagues to University of Pécs as well. Congratulations for the organization of this evening and the reorganization of this evening on an online platform. So really quick, I'm going to share my presentation. If I'm doing it right, I would need a feedback that it is okay for you to see my presentation.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, lovely. So welcome everybody. It's good to be here, and it's a great opportunity for us to speak a little bit about the current stage of the green efforts of the University of Szeged. The title of my presentation is Methods to Decrease the Carbon Emission at the University of Szeged, which contains the main goal right now, what is really important for us. Well, of course, first of all, some figures to the university, about the University of Szeged, and just one moment, because I only see the, University of Szeged. As you can see, in a Hungarian scale, we are a quite big university. We have 21,000 students, around 300 campus sites, 800 academic and administrative staff. We have 12 faculties, and we are really proud of that. We were in the top 20 university in a Green Metric survey conducted in 2014. Well, here's a chart about the universities conducting in the Green Metric University survey last year. Here, as you can see, the University of Pécs and Szeged is really proud of their position. But of course, it's I would say it's an honor to be on this chart, and every university who is participating in this survey should be really proud of its position and of its efforts. Well, one more few words about the new ranking. There's a new ranking which was published, I think, last year firstly, and it is the impact ranking, which ranks the universities based on all 17 sustainable development goals. And we are really proud that we managed to get in the first 200 universities worldwide in this ranking as well. Well, when I speak about the sustainability efforts of the University of Szeged, I always mention two pillars of sustainability. First pillar is the promotion of environmental conscious behavior via events, via courses, via programs dedicated for the students of the university, for the citizens of the city of Szeged, and for the employees of the universities as well. But the second pillar, of course, is are the technical solutions we are trying to implement or managed already to install. Here are some few examples. We are managed to install some solar collectors, power solar panels as well. We are able to harvest the geothermal energy of the ground beneath the city of Szeged, and we have a quite interesting technology installed 5 years ago, which with the help we can use the heat of the wastewater of the citizens of Szeged, and with that heat we can heat and cool one of the main building, the Study and Information Center. Well, right now, what we are doing and what we are eager to achieve, this is the slide, is about new goals to tackle the challenges of the CO2 reduction of the University of Szeged. Our goal is to see what can we do to lower the CO2 emission of the University of Szeged. And right now we have 3 parallel projects which are going that way. First of all, we had and already have a widespread carbon footprint evaluation with the KÖVET association. We really want to know that what is the right now CO2 emission of the main building of the University of Szeged, the Study and Information Center, because before we would like to achieve something, we have to know exactly where are we right now. Of course, with this project as well, we would like to enhance the adoption of the technical solutions, and the third part of our project is to create new educational methods for students, employees, and visitors of the University of Szeged as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about every pillar. Well, just a few words about the carbon footprint evaluation. It has 2 data gathering methods. First of all, we would like to know what the center's visitors are doing, where are they coming from, and what they think about the topics of sustainability. So we created a survey with 33 questions, and we had a quite huge number, and around 1,700 participants conducted that survey, which covered their use of transportation, their habit in the field of nutrition, waste management, and environmental conscious behavior. And of course, we were really interested in the Study and Information Center carbon footprint as well. So we went through every documentation to see what we bought last year, what kind of movement were in the building, what kind of events were in the building, what was the building energy consumption. So there was a data procession of the building management internal documentation. And with these 2 combined methods, we had an exact measurement system. And we can see that right now we know that what was the exact carbon footprint of the Study and Information Center. Here you can see the operation of the Study and Information Center itself was 5,000 tons of CO2 equivalent. And if you can see the chart right down below, you can see that the hugest portion of the carbon footprint was, of course, the energy consumption of the building, and the 3rd largest part of the building's CO2 emission was the travels of the employees going to the building and getting from the building to their houses and so on. Well, really interesting that we ask the opinions of the users of the building and the university as well. There are some 3 interesting questions that I would like to show you. Well, the second one is quite interesting. We asked the people that what do you think, who can do the most to solve the environmental problems? And they had to rank the stakeholders, and they said that the governments could do the most to help the environmental problems, after then the profit-oriented companies, thirdly the individuals themselves, fourth was the economical institution, and fifth the NGOs. And of course, we was really interesting about how could citizens be encouraged to live in a more environmental conscious way. And it's really interesting that in Hungary, the first thing that came up the people's mind in the creating conditions for selective waste collection still. And of course, we should need financial tools, sharing best practices, which we are doing right now, social events, personal, professional advice, and so on. We were really interested in that because we would like to create some new educational methods, and we were really interested in what the people think they should hear and they are interested in. Well, I said that our ongoing project is to enhance the adoption of the technical solutions. There are two examples we could manage to install and purchase in the few months. First of all, we installed frequency inverters at the Study and Information Center. And as you can see, these installments first of all, has a rate of return within 2 years. And with this installment, we can right now lower the CO2 emission of that building around 100 tons yearly. And the second part of our new achievement, that the help of the Minister of Technology, the University of Szeged could obtain 5 electric cars, which can substitute the old noisy diesel cars at the university's car fleet, which were used for transportation, documentary transportation, for patrol duties around the building of the University of Szeged, and for example, for emergency blood transportation. So we have right now 5 electric cars, which are actively can lower the CO2 emission of the University of Szeged. Third project and third pillar, we are really hard working right now with the KÖVET Association to create new educational methods for students, employees, and visitors as well, because we have a huge data right now that we can understand, and we can twist into some information tips around the University of Szeged as for the visitors. We have common system right now. It's called the co-space system, where if we put everything directly, the students can reach it, the employees of the university can reach it, and right now, based on the data gathering we have collected, we are creating example with our new online green educational contents, which will be able to publish at the end of this year, and this will be a package and a tool set and an advice set for the students of the University of Szeged. What can they do at home at the university to lower their carbon emission, to the employees of the universities, and of course to the visitors of the University of Szeged, because if we talk about the Study and Information Center, not in a pandemic situation, but we have around 300 events in one regular year. And of course, the visitors of the events can do a lot to lower their carbon emission at home and the carbon emission of the building when they are in that building and using our services. Well, this is where we are right now. We are really proud of that. We have, in this pandemic situation, to work in this kind of projects, and we are really eager to wait that time when we can announce and show those materials at the end of this week. Well, thank you very much for your attention, and of course, I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. It was a very interesting and complex presentation, and good ways of thinking to collect the thoughts of people, who should act, how they should act, and it was really interesting, I think, to see the opinions, and also the carbon footprint calculation is a useful tool. I would like to ask the participants whether you have any questions. Maybe we can continue with questions at the end as well, if you don't mind, because it was a quite efficient presentation, but our time is slipping away. So thank you very much then. Okay. So now we move back to Hungary to our capital, Budapest. Nagy Andrea from Budapest Business School will talk about the educational aspects of their Green University program, presented through an Erasmus Plus project. So please, Andrea, be so kind and introduce us your initiative.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Nagy, and I'm representing Budapest Business School. And this time I would like to talk about the issue project. I hope you will see my presentation. Sorry. Can you see it?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. So I guess you have a lot of issues in the last semester, and like every university or every country has, but this time issue means some positive project for us because it's innovative solutions for sustainability in education. And our aim is to have sustainability in a very integrated way in our education curriculums and find a creative way to reach the students and the local communities. And it's very important that we have a strong cooperation with the business sector and different kind of NGOs to have a real multiplicator impact of our activities. Just very briefly before I go into the details, these are the partners, and we are very pleased to work with them because we can learn a lot. So we really like this kind of cooperation. And let me just highlight the Business Council for Sustainable Development in Hungary, because they are responsible for integrating the business part and the business partners and the concept of business to our project. And maybe it's not necessary to highlight too much, but it's very important that all of the activities, I will go into the details, it's based on the SDGs, and we would like, and our aim is to integrate all of the projects or intellectual output we are working on. And now let's see the intellectual outputs. We have an integrated reporting because we experience that there are a lot of way of reporting in the universities, in the business sector, but there is no such an integrated solution when all the financial and other dimensions are built together. And in this integrated reporting, we would like to build on, for example, on the GRI reporting or collect all the relevant indicators. We would like to integrate the previously mentioned green metric and also, for example, the prime principles and all the content of these initiatives in one report, and hopefully it will help universities to have a transparent way of working and have a very good conversation or basis for the conversation for their stakeholders. So we are working on this one. We just created the first version of our report. It's not published because we are working on and collect all the learnings, and we will publish the first report next year in 2021. The methodology handbook is the second of this list. It's the collection of best practices, but not just educational best practices, but different kind of research best practices. So it's very important to have a implementation for the society and extend this kind of knowledge and have a very, very hard knowledge sharing what we find and really share these best practices. And we have best practices for universities. We have best practices from the business sector, because we think that everyone has to do something and very, very positive actions to have a sustainable life. And we think it's our responsibility to show it to the students who are the leaders of the future or managers of the future, to have this kind of mindset. And they can work on these very useful practices. The 21-day challenge is, you know, that based on some researches, you need 21 days to change one bad habit or settle a very good new one. And during this challenge, the participants can get different kind of videos and tips. They can both as an individual, for example, what can they do on a daily basis, but different kind of companies share their best practices and good solutions. For example, food industry, what they do, what are the challenges, or we have a designer who can give advice in how can, for example, students think about the sustainable fashion, or we have an interview with the representative of the Budapest public transportation company, and they share their view how can they promote the zero emission or the lower emission transport solutions. So it's very nice ones. It's a mixture of what individuals and what other sectors can do together. So it's also a very nice content. Unfortunately, the Future Sustainability Managers Summer School was supposed to be this summer, but it's postponed to 2021. But it's the same concept that we would like to show them what businesses can do, and they can have very inspirational conversation with CEOs and experts from different kind of fields to have this kind of way of thinking mindset. So when they will finish the university or just start working for a company, they have to make decision based on this awareness and consciousness, and we truly believe that this kind of good practices can help them to understand how can they do it, and they are not alone because they can work together with other sectors. It was mentioned some of the participants by the Green Office. It's also part of our initiative issue. It's more about the Green Office strategy, how can universities build a Green Office strategy, what can be the steps, good solutions, how they can integrate the internal community, not just the students, but the employees for sure, and how can they work together with other stakeholders. And unfortunately, we are in a very strange situation because Green Office, it's not typically your home office, but so we will see what comes next, but we are about to implement this activity. First, we will start with a survey where we get all the information about, to see just the standing point, where are we now, and work together with the internal community, how can we build on, and how can we have a Green Office and make our environment more sustainable and livable. So this is our main objective, and hopefully we will do it maybe in the beginning of next year. And this is my favorite. I'm responsible for the escape room. It's called Planet B. Actually, no Planet B, because we realized that it's a very engaging way when we can talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. So it's a spaceship, and maybe you can see on the picture that it's built on this beehive structure. So it's a mobile one. So we can use it in different kind of events, freshman's camp, and every kind of events after COVID. And we believe that it's a very, very good way to talk about sustainability by using the principles and advantages of gamification. So it's a very, very nice one. We are testing it, and it's amazing because the participants have 1 hour actually to save the planet, and of course with all the good habits and knowledge they can use it, and it's also a journey covering the sustainable development goals, and we are more than happy to invite all of you to test this spaceship when we just will launch soon. And this is our timeline. So we will finish in 2021 August. And as you see, we will piloting the Green Office and the Escape Room, and maybe at the beginning of next year, the 20-day challenge and the future sustainability manager programs. And we hope that this kind of initiatives will some kind of uniqueness and another way of thinking about sustainability in universities. And what is very important, that we believe that it's not just for students. For example, the escape room is for the business partners, so they can have different kind of team buildings with this tool, because it's not just the students who can learn and have to learn a lot about sustainability and SDGs. So thank you for your attention, and I'm really looking forward to have maybe conversation and everything. Just keep in touch. If you have any questions, just let us know now or later. This is my email address, and I hope we can cooperate in this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the nice presentation. Do you have any questions? I mean, the participants?
I have a question, if possible.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm very excited of this presentation because of combining business and sustainability issue. It's really what we need. I already looked at the sustainability strategy during presentation of your business of school from until this year. It looks like it finished, but and it looks really interesting. But question is about sustainability managers. What is actually MBA in sustainable business, master program in sustainability, bachelor program? How exactly it's called? And it would be interesting to look later at structure, to all of those things.
You mean the summer school, especially?
What I didn't realize fully what was under the title sustainability manager. What it was, summer school or training program or study full program?
Yes, it's for BA students, especially. Yes. But it can be relevant for master students as well.
Oh, okay. It's a training program special, not degree.
Yes. Training program, but it's a very engaging way. So not just this kind of classroom trainings, but we will go to companies, we will go to factories to have different kind of visits. They will talk about the business solutions. So we believe that this really will be useful for students to be engaged and inspired.
Of course, quite interesting. Thank you. Thank you. I will look more for details. Looking forward.
Thank you. Any further questions, maybe? Okay, if not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We can move on then. Our next speaker supposed to be Lazar Petrovic from Serbia, University of KÖVET, the only Serbian member of the Green Metric Network. We were really keen to hear the presentation, but unfortunately, meanwhile, we have lost him. I was in contact with Lazar and by email, and he won't be able to join. So at the moment, we have to skip his presentation, but we will upload it to the project's webpage. That means that our next speaker is also from Budapest, but from the Eötvös Loránd University. which is number 244, if I remember right, in last year's ranking. So I kindly ask Ms. Mudra Victoria, to tell us about the really widespread activities, including technology development, civil cooperations, internal, external networks. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you for the invitation to this video conference. Do you hear me well?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so now I share the presentation. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so so I would like to present myself with some words. I am the sustainability coordinator of ELTE Ötös Loránd Tudományegyetem, but I do this like a volunteer for 12 years now. So in fact, I'm a teacher, but this is like a second life for us, for the group, and you are welcome to to share your opinion or your questions about my presentation. So first of all, I would like to tell some information about Ötös Loránd University. This is one of the biggest universities of Hungary. There are 8 campuses, 7 dormitories, 5 special dorms, lots of institutional locations, at least 70 buildings, which means if we want to do a whole-scale sustainable program, it is a huge work. At ELTE, there are 21,000 students and more than 3,000 workers, so a lot of space to do some consciousness about sustainability too. I will talk about 2 kinds of things in the case of ELTE. There is an institutional activity, and the civil activity is very strong too. So institutional activity means this is not civic, but only the university is concerned, and the participants are from this part. So there was an energy efficiency development investment at 15 places. And it's finished, and we have solar panels.
Sorry, Victoria, you also haven't moved to the next slide. Maybe.
Oh, sorry. No, it's. Hogy megyek vissza? Jó. So, do you see institutional activity and civil activity on my slide?
No, we see the title.
The title.
I think the different window is shared with us. You can share also the desktop.
Thank you for signing me. Just a moment.
Okay, thank you.
And now, can you see institutional activity and civil activity?
Yes, great. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. So there was an energy efficiency development investment on a huge scale. And right now we are in a new project called UniEco. It's an international project between 2019 and 2022. I will talk about that too. And the civil activity is ELTE EKS, Együtt a környezettudatos szemléletért, means Together for Environmental Consciousness. Can you see that I have changed?
Yes,
okay.
Somehow I also remained on your page, but actually we can also see the slide.
Okay. So just some words about the energy efficiency development. So it was done in 15 buildings. External doors and windows were replaced at around 5,000 new windows. Boilers and heating systems were upgraded, and solar panels have been installed in the university buildings. So in these 15 buildings. The estimated carbon dioxide reduction is 4,600 tons per year. You can see some photos about the boiler system and the solar system here. UniEco, so this international project has got 5 participants and 2 institutions that help us. So University of Montpellier, University of Barcelona, University of Utrecht, Trinity College, Eötvös Loránd Tudományegyetem, and CZ and Unimed, the helpers. It's an international consortium done by EU sources, and the mission is to raise awareness of sustainable innovation in higher education institutions, collaborate with partners, universities and other institutions to exchange good practices, implement innovative ideas from students and staff. So it will be a kind of green challenges. Whoever has a good idea to improve these 5 universities' sustainable level can do this challenge, and it will be done if it's a good idea. And the third part is Living Labs, development of an e-learning platform on sustainable innovation and the environment. So this will be for students and employees also. And I have to mention that we have done a survey on the 5 universities. It contains 250 questions about sustainable cases, waste, energy, procurement, and this will be published very soon. Now I will talk about the civil activity called Together for Environmental Consciousness. It was established in 2008, and our main object was to organize selective waste collection at Eötvös Loránd University, because there were lots of places. Selective collection didn't exist. But there were no professional toolbars, no system, and you can see the ELTE-VUK, ELTE-NFK, these are dormitories and campuses, and in the different years we managed to begin the selective waste collection. In the beginning, there were lots of participants, organizations, and now this has changed to a system of volunteers, so sustainable volunteers. And during 12 years, we have 5 main themes. For example, selective waste collection and water waste management. Sustainable campus auditor program. It's like a green office program. We do a lot of gardening in community, animal protection, and biodiversity projects. We have creative workshops, and we do a lot of informal education, like sustainability days, or we create films or little books or memes for students and with students. Here you can see the little cases means the places of the university, and to every place, for example, every campus, every dormitory, we have organized a sustainability working group. It can be 5 people or 10 or 60. This is a lot of people, so it's very rare. But we are open to students and employees too, and we have these groups, so not only students participate to our program. So there are lots of sustainability volunteers, and they are managed by sustainability coordinators, and we have management. We try to follow the SDGs. This is the thing that counts for us, and we work with cooperation with the university. So the counselor and the rector are the main helpers, or they help us a lot, but fővédnök, bocsánat, ezt a szót, ezt elfelejtettem, tehát ők a fővédnökök. So the okay, let's go on. So we have lots of results. I will not tell all of the results. I will tell the most important for us. Waste altogether, at least 2,000 tons of waste were recycled from 2010 and 2019, and we are composting. It means kitchen composting, and green crops composting means what we have in the garden we try to keep in the place, and to use it in the same place. Oil, of course, it must be collected. 2,300 liters managed. Paper, we organize special paper collections. Confidential paper is recycled too, but with a confidential way. So it cannot be stolen or seen by other people. What I really have to add, that it is non-profit for the university. So as we work like volunteers, and a civil association tries to assure every tool, it is free for the university. We have worked 50,000 hours, and it has a big value of euros. We had animals and plants projects, and now we will renew it. We will plant several thousand tulips and narcissus, and this autumn. And the main results, we asked the KÖVET Egyesület, the association or KÖVET, to estimate our program. You see, it's more than 1 million euros, nearly 1.5 million euros. We fit the education points of the 5th Hungarian National Education Program, and we have some places, and for example, the International Sustainable Campus Network in 2016, we were second on an international scale. And 2017, we had Delfin D, which is one of the biggest sustainable prize by Magyar Telekom. I would like to add, and it's in red, the main issue our program. So we have a know-how about waste management, about education, but informal education, and the volunteer system. And we spare a lot of money to the university. Now, this year, it reached 30-40 million forints, nearly 70,000 euros. And just some photos to see the scale of the projects. The first is a paper, confidential paper project, then composting at one place, but as I told you, we have 52 places. And our biggest project now is wood recycling. So a lot of furniture is recycled at ELTE. This year, it's we have reached 500 cubic meter of wood to be recycled. And we are very happy to participate to UVI Green Metric. In 12-15, our program was added to the results. So you can see that from that year, we managed to keep up with the stronger and stronger international competition. And in 2019, we had 20 places better than last year, but there are still lots of things to do. So our future aims and projects to join international networking, to do Hungarian networking and developing of the programs, to implement even more the SDGs, and of course source development. Thank you for your kind attention. If you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer. And thank you again for the invitation.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions for this presentation? It's really well described, your civil work and inside and outside the university. I think it was a very efficient networking, and also with the KÖVET association. We are also working with them. Okay, so thank you so far.
Thank you.
Maybe we will come back to you with some questions later on or by emails. Thanks for your presentation. And now, yes, for the last two presentations, we will stay in Hungary. The next speaker, Szűcs Boglárka, has just jumped into our conference, and we are happy, really happy, as she will, I think, give us a really nice, different viewpoint, how a church, the Reformed Church, recognizes the problem of, let's say, demolition of our world, the climate change, and how does it motivate people to follow more conscious behavior. So please, Boglárka, be so kind and share your thoughts with us.
Greeting to everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I try to share my presentation, and thank you very much for this video conference invitation. Can you see it now?
Yes.
So I am the referent of this research learning center of Károly Gáspár Reformed University, and I would like to give an overview of what we have done so far and how we got there to get into this green metric system now. So a few words about the university. Károly Gáspár University of the Reformed Church in Hungary can be found in the heart of Budapest, in the capital of Hungary. It is belonged to and maintained by the Reformed Church in Hungary. It is a youthful institution with a long tradition, established more than 150 years ago, and in its current form in 1993. And now the university has become one of the top universities of the country. It is the 12th best university as far as we know it by a business magazine in 2019. It is interesting that the university combines the traditions of Reformed Christian education and openness to professional innovation promoted by our European and international exchange programs. The university has several buildings, with most of its buildings located in the heart of Budapest, and international students may stay at one of our dormitories, and of course Hungarian students as well, which can be easily accessed by local transport, public transport. Education takes place in several buildings, and not only in Budapest. These are mainly elderly buildings, as you can see on the picture. The central location of the buildings is an advantage. Some of them are under protection, a part of the cultural and architectural heritage of the country. But on the other hand, that means that this location is a bit unfavorable in terms of sustainability, because these are old buildings, not so modern, and because there are few green space can be found there. So we need to be creative in this field. We have to find out how can we manage it. Unfortunately, one of the dormitories burned down last year, and it needs to be completely rebuilt. The architect and the entire design team keep environmental considerations in mind, so it will be hopefully it will be a very nice and very, very eco-friendly building when it is completed. We have got 7,600 students by this time, and they can acquire BA, MA degrees or complete their PhD studies at our 5 faculties. You can see here the faculties, the law, humanities, theology, teacher training, social and health sciences. This last one is a very new faculty of the university. We have got English and German courses as well. And that was Balázs mentioned before, that we have gotten a special situation, and our background can show it as well. So about our background of in the environmental sustainability, the university is measuring itself in this green metric system now for the first time this year, but the environmental sustainability already has a tradition now here and in the church as well. The idea of this sustainability is not far from the church. The Bible has much to say on this subject. On the left side you can see the Green Bible, which promoted these subject in green color. And John Calvin also said that the created world, the stage of the glory of God, the created world is an artistic creation of God, which can only be viewed with admiration and respect. Traditionally, restraint is a key value in the church. It is highlighted and it has got a high priority in the church, which is important in solving the environmental problems caused by the consumer society. We also know that there are links between environmental, social, and economic problems, and that they are morally rooted. So that's an ethic question. The church can be important in this field, and the church has always been involved in public affairs as well. We've seen that there are many good examples abroad. Christian churches has an umbrella organization, that's the ESEN, European Christian Environmental Network, which we have been members since 2010. The aims of the network are to work towards the development of sustainability at all levels. That means that not only the ecological, but also the social, spiritual, political, and economic dimensions of life important for this network. This is what we wanted to draw attention to when we set up the eco-congregation movement in 2012 with a Scottish example and a Scottish support. 10 founding members took part in this, some of them pastors, some of them believers and university professors. It was accepted by the church, and it is a very important point. So later, many ecclesial, many congregation, communities, institutions, schools from Hungary and from Carpathian Basin can join this by now. And not only Reformed, but other Christian denominations as well. We started working on this field in 2013. So it is based on this Scottish example, but adapted to the domestic conditions. And what is very important for us that it was a bottom-up initiative, what the church has accepted over time, and it became the organization of the Reformed Synod. It is led by an advisory body. This is a Eco-Congregation Council, and we have got many volunteers as well. From autumn of 2018, it works as a learning center as well at the university beside the movement. An important element of the overall program is the greening of church institutions. That is why we want to make the our operation of Károly Gáspár University as sustainable as it possible. In 2018, the university established the Creation Conservation Lecture Center to provide the research background for the movement. So that's the background of the formerly movement. It is also good for us because we can green the university from the inside now and have the opportunity to research what religion can add to solving environmental problems. This is our motto. You know that there are many green organizations in Hungary too, but there are few of them which belong to the church. We want to operate our own organization on the field, on the basis, so on biblical grounds. We have chosen this biblical quotation to describe our spirit because of it. And these are our main goals: protecting the created world. That is what we're dealing with. And our main goal is to draw the attention that we have got important tasks in the creation care field, and we have to give answers to the big questions of life, such as the excessive consumption. There have been good practices before inside the church. It would be good to bring them back. For example, the sparing or self-restriction is a very useful habit. We are all invited to work together in the creation care activities, but not everyone knows that, and we want to involve them as well. We try to present it all important places. We try to reach out to all ages, and we developed the program structure for the whole year. The main elements of this are the participate in all and everywhere, Facebook campaign, web page, cooperation with others, NGOs, governmental, church, etc. And we are also building serious framework for our work. For example, the state church agreement, what you can see now on the slides, and working with professional organizations to achieve the sustainable development goals. There are programs that are accessible and open to the whole church. We announce an application for the Eco-Congregation Award every year, but by undertaking goals that also make the credibility and practices of a community more environmental friendly. Currently, we have got approximately 50 communities, congregations, schools as well. So they have won this award yet. Other connections options are also exist. There are programs which a person or community who doesn't feel strong enough to applicate for this application, and they can easily participate. Such commitments, for example, this what you can see now, this biodiversity program. There are animal species that live in church towers. For example, these bats and owls. Their lives are influenced by the lighting of the church, and it doesn't matter what the roof is like. And the other is the native fruit tree plant project, which is very successful. Many Hungarian congregations join it by now. It is based on an agreement and involve churches, church gardens to plant native fruit trees all over the country. And our goal is to integrate sustainability at every level into the everyday life of the university. So many of our programs take place within the university, and the target group also the university citizens. To its operation, maintenance, to education, it should also be included in education in every faculty. We want to reach out the staff, the students as well. We have already done a lot for this goal, and here are some pictures at this area of activity with which we involve people from the university. You can see now that we organize lectures, professional days. These pictures we took, for example, on the right side, you can see panels, solar panels. We took this picture in the Renewable Energy Park, where we organize a special program. We put our advertisements all over the university and other institutions, and we go to festivals where a lot of students turn around. We also take part in reducing the environmental impact of this kind of events. We lend reusable plastic cups. You can see it in the middle now. So they don't use disposable ones.
Sorry, I don't want to be unpolite, but just time is slipping away, so we need to give some minutes for the last speaker. Bertalan will have 5 minutes. So if you can close it in a few seconds, that would be useful for us. Just finish your presentation. I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay, thank you. So
thank you.
I go back. if I find. So just a few words. We usually organize educational evenings, conferences on the sustainability fields, and they are usually very practical. We make research works as well, study tours. So we organize study tours, eco groups, and competitions, exhibitions. And you can see now this very popular program, the Jane Goodall Institute Pass Back Bro Action, where due to this program we could collect mobile phone which are out of order. And yes, the last slide is the bike pilgrimage and the bike competition and the breakfast. It was our last action now in September, and it was really very popular. So thank you for your attention. Yes, we make many things, and it's not easy to speak about. Yes, very shortly. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for the presentation. I think it's a really nice entrance to this system, and you have really colorful programs. Unfortunately, we don't have the time now for questions, but I would like to call my colleague Radwanski Bertalan on the floor to speak a bit about our university. It will be a mission impossible a bit, sorry, but you have 4 minutes and then we need to go back to the closing remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to try to share my presentation. Here it is. Just a moment. I don't find. Where is? Yeah, here. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay? Good. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bertan Radwanski. On the first step, I would like to say I am very happy that we are together and we have information about each other in this pandemic situation. I am a head of the X-ray protection service at the University of Pécs, and in my past life I worked with the climate change, and I have a experience and I support the green university program at the university. I would like to present the green consciousness of the University of Pécs. Our university in South Hungarian, we have a 5 different locations in the Trans-Danube. The core of the University of Pécs is in Pécs city, and we have a lot of location in the urban area. And the university has a very complex system with the urban area. Our university was founded 615 years ago. We have 20,000 students, and 7,000 workers at the university. We have 10 different faculties, and we have a very big clinic center, the medicine clinic center, with 24 clinics. And we have 8 dormitory. And you can see, if you see these data, that university is a very complex system. To this complex system, we have to see and we have to say our goals, and we are the different goals. The first is to reduce the vulnerability of this complex system. The second is the increase the flexibility of the university, and we have to operation continues the system. And we see if we see these goals, we have to know that we are responsible for a society, for the economy, and for the nature. And how can we to achieve our goals? For us was very helpful the UI Green metric ranking, because this ranking gave for us a very good structure, and across this structure we could to analyze our university, the activity of your university. It was on the beginning. Today we have a new ranking, and across this ranking we can analyze or contact with the nature, with the economy, and with the society. For us, we are very happy that we participated from until 2060 in the green metric, and the last year we were on the 100th place. If we see the other ranking, this World University ranking, we are on the top 400 university, and we are very happy that we are on the 45th place by the 13th goals. This is the climate action. We have a very strong direction to the climate protection at the university, and we have a very big program in this time. This program is the Modern City program, and currently in this program are 14 different development projects, and this means that we will have a new buildings at the university, and from this expanded the sub goals, we would like to keep our emission at the university by the expanded situation. The results for us we are using the renewable energy sources. Mr. Zoltán said that the University of Pécs are in the Virtual Power Planet program. We were the first university in Hungary who has the energy efficient prize in 2018. And we have a different school, and the school belongs to this Virtual Power Planet program too. We are very happy that we have a lot of action from the academic part of the university, and on the Faculty of Energy and Information Technology is a group. This group participated on the Solar Decathlon program, and this group built the environmental friendly house for a family. It is very nice. We are responsible for society. It is very important for us, but we know and we believe that our workers, is it good if our workers love to work at the university? And from this background, we made a lot of programs for workers, and we made a lot of programs for the urban population. In the last year, our university was the responsible employer of the year 2018, and near this prize, we have a family-friendly workplace. Good. We have a lot of programs, and we would like to do our actions in the different sector in the futures, and we have to close. This working, and I am ending here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bertan, for your nice thoughts and description of our university programs, and we really apologize that we do not have any more minutes, and I wish to thank also for all the attendees for joining this workshop. We had a lot of presentations, so our time was really limited. So now I invite everyone to close this meeting and join the closing remarks. Probably some of our colleagues are already there. Thank you very much. See you there.
Bye.
Bye.